Grand, grand afternoon, evening for some of you guys. I apologize about this morning. I see I miss Room Shaker. Hey, Mia C. Hey, the Bushes. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. And Renee is like, Lord, Ronnie Q did not wake up and lock the door so Rascal and Saucy couldn't get in. I should have in Renee. That was from this morning. Tanya McNeil, Nappy Child, Jackson Street. I miss you all. Very Carrie. I apologize. Bush Baby, Queen Diva. Uh, I hope you guys come back for the replay. Wake up, Ronnie Q. Saucy threw me off once again. She woke me up early to go out early. And I had about 45 minutes, so surely if I just laid in the bed and watched TV, I wasn't going to fall asleep. And my phone with the actual alarm I left in the office where the computer is, where I go live. I call the office my closet because these dumb bitches say that I live in a one-bedroom apartment. So my office, the closet that I call my office, I didn't hear my alarm go off. I'm bringing them over here for vacation. My little puppies. Hey, Rose Bennett. Thank you for being here. Okay, let me, you know, uh, this sector is really, really funny. This sector is quite amazing in sitting around and pretending like, we don't see what's really going on. Oh, sorry. So, let me say this. Let me say this. Nobody had any morning shows until I had a morning show. Let's keep it a buck. Nobody had a morning show that started at the time that I had my morning show. Hold on 1 second. Now I'm getting notifications and when I go live. 1 second. I apologize for that. I am back. Okay. Uh, let me see. Let me see where was I and where are you? And Renee is back. Renee was here earlier of Views of You. That was when I missed my show. We saw what she did and how she makes excuses. Um, okay. I remember when it was Miss Bless, then you in the morning shows, but it provided choices to the viewers. Yes, it you can have your own choice, but what you not going to be able to do is to pull bullshit. Okay, so when I did my morning show, I didn't start my morning show at the same time that uh, Reed goes live. I went live hours earlier than Reed. See, that's what a real woman does. Okay, so are we gonna actually sit up here and play games? See, technically, YouTube cameras is not. I would watch you then Reed. Thank you. Technically, YouTube cameras, when I started going live, started her lives after midnight the following previous day. Sometimes she'd start her live at 1 or 2 at night. But it was not until Sassy decided that, hey, we can have a great morning show, that YouTube cameras starting her live at the exact time that I started my live. So let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a real 100. See, that's how. But when I say something, oh, people can start their lives anytime they want to, and then all of the motherfuckers who uh who decided to tell that Asian flat face motherfucker that he should go live at the exact time that well, people can go live whenever they want to. Well, people can go live whenever they want to, and all of the motherfuckers. Oh, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Oh, am I mistaken about how it all really happened? And so what they call karma. Karma will always come back. I have more things to talk about than these shady, shifty motherfuckers who don't show up. Don't show up. My content is not for everybody, and I have more important content to talk about than this bullshit and all these fucking plays that people are so enthralled with and don't know what type of danger they are living their real lives. So people, if you want to be caught up, if you want to tell me I'll be there tomorrow and stuck up in someone else's chat, do you, boo boo? But don't think you're playing in my face when you do it either. Let's be real clear. Hey Mia. Oh, I spoke with Mia. So that's all I got to say about that. Enjoy yourself in this trivial bullshit that you guys are engulfed in. So what do I have to say? And so everybody is attacking YouTube cameras. Hey, have at it. Miss Olivia, while you attacking YouTube cameras, you would come over here and sit in my chat and give verbatim my content and never mention where you got it from, bitch. So all of you guys are some fucking fake ass hoes. So get the fuck out of my face. You're tracking. You're tracking in the words of Phi and QB. Yes, I am tracking, and I'm sitting back and watching all of this bullshit from people who pulled bullshit games. So fuck them all. Fuck them all. Okay, so let's get on to some real stuff that I wanted to share with you. Here we go. Let me remove. I hate the way they have changed the back screen. You cannot find where the hell you put stuff because they have it in instead of going up and down in the straight line, they have put it in rows of threes. Look, I'm just trying to find what I'm looking for. If you guys have not subscribed to this young lady, the link is in my description box. I just want you to hear this. And this is exactly, we all, are under the understanding that well, not all of us, because some of us still support those who don't support them. I am not a believer of that. If you show me your ass to kiss, I'm a stick my foot up and keep on walking. I'm not supporting no one who doesn't support me. So in the case of this ICE stuff, they voted for what they wanted and they got what they wanted. But you have to understand the laws that they are putting down, which can affect you in uh, arresting these people and holding these people. See, now that they have these people detained, they have made it easier to detain us. So I just hope you guys are ready to fight for yourselves, because it's really getting to the point where we're going to have to fight for ourselves. The laws are already on the book. The Supreme Court said that, hey, just take them in for whatever reason you want to take them in, and we'll settle that in a year or two.
What's up? It's Saturday and we live at Essence Fest, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm going to keep it brief. This year on the 4th of July, Donald Trump signed a big, beautiful bill into law. After a week of hashing and rehashing in Senate and in the House, Thomas Massie acting like he and 10 other Republicans were about that life, or at least American lives, period, then revealing to us that they was all really just a bunch of hoe-ass niggas from Jump. The bill finally made its way to Trump's desk in time for him to discredit the legacy of even his most racist forefathers on Independence Day. See, robber barons didn't exist at the time the Declaration of Independence was written, and even American white men in the slaving industry weren't consolidating wealth like this. This bill will effectively kill people. $930 billion in cuts to Medicaid, $200 billion in cuts to SNAP. 17 million Americans are at risk of losing their health care by 2034. And now it is much easier for you to get a silencer in a country where gun violence is an increasingly volatile public health issue. But hey, this is the pro-life party, y'all. The bill will also make ICE the largest law enforcement agency in the country. Oh, well, Lene, I don't have Medicaid and I'm not an immigrant, so I'm just chilling. There are two things that I want to talk to y'all about specifically, and one precursor to my argument. Here it is. It doesn't matter whether or not you have Medicaid. Uninsured people go to the doctor all the time for emergent care. When hospitals and insurance agencies Hey, y'all, what's up? It's Saturday and we live at Essence Fest, so I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to keep it brief. This year on the 4th of July, Donald Trump signed a big, beautiful bill into law. After a week of hashing and rehashing in Senate and in the House, Thomas Massie acting like he and 10 other Republicans were about that life, or at least American lives, period, then revealing to us that they was all really just a bunch of hoe-ass niggas from Jump. The bill finally made its way to Trump's desk in time for him to discredit the legacy of even his most racist forefathers on Independence Day. See, robber barons didn't exist at the time the Declaration of Independence was written, and even
Sound is out. Okay. I apologize. I hit the wrong button and I started it over. Now I have to start it over again. Let's go in with the sound right now. Let's get back to this message. All of these things I have warned you about. She was on Medicaid.
The legacy of even his most racist forefathers on Independence Day. See, robber barons didn't exist at the time the Declaration of Independence was written, and even American white men in the slaving industry weren't consolidating wealth like this. This bill will effectively kill people. $930 billion in cuts to Medicaid, $200 billion in cuts to SNAP. 17 million Americans are at risk of losing their health care by 2034. And now it is much easier for you to get a silencer in a country where gun violence is an increasingly volatile public health issue. But hey, this is the pro-life party, y'all. The bill will also make...
You guys did know that there was a silencer a provision in the big, beautiful bill. You also know that there was a provision in there where you can make your gun fully automatic, which means that you can shoot your gun in rapid succession, sort of like a machine gun. Why did they need to put that in a budget bill? They did. So you wouldn't pay attention to it because you need to know what motherfuckers are doxing over there in Lemons. I mean, the importance of some the importance that some of you take your lives is just uh, astonishing.
Make ICE the largest law enforcement agency in the country. Oh, well, Lene, I don't have Medicaid and I'm not an immigrant, so I'm just chilling. There are two things.
With this bill, ICE is the largest police force in the United States. And we see how they operate. We see how they operate. And I'm going to show you where ICE in June, when they went to their Senate hearings, they were broke. Christine Nome had gone through all of the money. So what did they do? They gave them $1 trillion in this budget, and they are the most financed police unit in the United States. And they can do whatever they want to you. There are no rules of engagements. There are no, if a cop does something to you, he's stepping on your first, second, third, Fourth Amendment rights. No such thing exists for ICE agent. Did you know that? Did you notice that? They can even take you in as an American citizen. And 4547 can then say he's going to take your birthright citizenship away. And there's nothing any court can do about it because the Supreme Court is allowing that. Are we clear on where we are as American citizens? Because if you're not clear, it could be to your detriment. Let's continue.
Things that I want to talk to y'all about specifically, and one precursor to my argument. Here it is. It doesn't matter whether or not you have Medicaid. Uninsured people go to the doctor all the time for emergent care. When hospitals and insurance agencies eat those initial costs up front, even if they send the patient a bill later, they do so by taking the money you pay in your premium every month. Just like the banks. That's actually why you pay your premium every month, irregardless of what's going on with you. So they always have a pool of money to continuously pull from. So that means your premium will get higher. But here's what I'm getting at ultimately. The people who voted for this administration, the people who are apathetic to other people's plight, the people who are downright hateful and condescend those you think are less deserving, for the first time in history, perhaps, your hate is not awarding you privilege. It's sinking its claws into you and taking you down with it. Here's why.
It's sinking its claws into you, and it's also sinking your children underwater. Because you decided that this was a good bill to pass because how you dislike black and brown people. Look at what you're willing to ignore that your own people are doing to you. Let's continue.
Number one, the reason why Medicaid was cut, or so they say, was the use of Medicaid infrastructure to provide healthcare to undocumented immigrants or to cover gender-affirming healthcare. Well, you backwater MAGA ass in particular hated Mexicans and trans folks so bad that you lost your own healthcare in the process. Which leads me to number two. The people you look up to that reinforce your hate with misinformation and false promises during election season only believe the bullshit they spout to you to the extent that they know that you'll believe in it and literally ride until the wheels fall off so you can give them the platform and power they need to do you under. But this video was informed.
Exactly. You gave them the platform to do you under. These same people who said that they don't need FEMA and FEMA needs to be taken over by the state. But who's out here when catastrophe happens to rich white people? Who do they grab out? FEMA. And then they ask your president, are you still getting rid of FEMA? And what does he say? We'll talk about that later. They're saving rich white lives right now. He didn't say that, but he said, we'll talk about this later. Right now, FEMA's busy. So if FEMA's busy, isn't that obvious that FEMA is needed in emergencies, that what they have been created to do? But after they get over this hump, after they lie their way out of this hump and try to wash their hands of responsibility about the way Texas is so great and Texas this and Texas that, Texas have known that this area was prone to for years since they had huge floods in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and in the 200s. But what did 4547 stand up there and say? He said this was a once in a lifetime thing. They say that this is a once in 100-year things. So are we paying attention? I don't know. We'll see.
For you. This video is for the 92% of black women, the 87% of black men that voted for Kamala Harris. This is a problem for many reasons. And if you know anything about the Stanford prison experiment, you know that the $30 billion to strengthen the force of ICE is a clusterfuck all by itself. Philip Zimbardo gave them college boys $15 a day to play prison guard, and they had to stop the experiment within 6 days for the level of dehumanization they caused their fellow experiment participants off the street.
Now, if you guys don't know about this experiment, they had them to play as if they were prison guards, and they were worse than real prison guards. These were college students. Their mindset, this tribal mindset, and they had to stop the experiment because they had gone above and beyond the brutality of real prison guards. So you think that you have dignified people coming together to okay the treatment of black and brown peoples? Think again.
Their perceived power alone. And you want to give these glorified security guards with Gestapo-like motivation more money and perceived power after Haitian immigrants just lost their temporary protected status? Now, apparently, ICE showed up in Brooklyn this past week trying to apprehend Haitian immigrants and got their ass beat. And you can joke all you want about black people being built different and actually fighting back, but who's to say how long ICE is going to allow themselves to be punching bagged for literal Negroes before they start resorting to other measures of force? Revolution is right here, right now, today. Stop saying that we're cooked. We're only cooked if we accept this reality as our reality. Now is quite literally the time to be bucking the system. And a lot of y'all misunderstood me last time I got out here and thought that I was telling y'all to get outside and protest. And I most absolutely aren't. I'm saying stop playing by the rules, protect yourselves, and prepare yourselves. The mayor of Chicago started arresting ICE agents. That's what the I'm talking about. Healthcare professionals, give these women the care that they need and stop acting like this regime is permanent and like you won't get your job back if we get this man out of office. There was no reason Adriana Smith should have been hooked up to that life support machine. It is time to start not just talking about, but planning for a general strike. That means tapping into mutual aid, talking to the people around you, understanding your community's needs, and making a plan to meet them. It needs to happen across the nation, but make it local. See the inner workings of the Atlanta women's strike in the 1880s, the New Orleans labor strike in 1892. Y'all expect so much from our elected officials. We have to do our part. So yes, I'm telling y'all, we got a plan to stop going to work. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And I don't think those of us in media, politics, and nonprofit services will be able to stop working. But the rest of us need to lean into outlets that are providing infrastructure for mutual aid networks like State of the People, and even rebuild the social justice arms of the Black church to get organized. It is doable. Remember, it only takes 3.5%, and we already got those numbers based on who's going to lose Medicaid. I repeat, desperate times call for desperate measures. Act now to retain your self-regulation, your agency, and your power. Because if we allow things to continue at the rate they are now, they're going to take it from you anyway. Hey, y'all, what's up?
The link is in the description box. Hey, Leonard, I just wanted to come out there. Almond Brown shared that with me, and I am so appreciative for her for sharing that with me, because it's like this information is in a book, and Negroes will not refuse to find out this information that is have us in a precarious situation and is very important. But listen, I'm just giving you the information. Take it with it, do with it, ignore it at your however, whatever you choose to do with it. I also wanted to share with you this Gestapo, these ICE agents decided to mount up in MacArthur Park. That's a park in downtown LA. It was a horrible park, but since they did the regentrification of downtown LA, visually, it was beautiful, but they let it get run down with addicts and all type of stuff at nighttime, daytime. You didn't want to go through MacArthur Park or anything. They have built it up, so they have actual sports teams, teen leagues, youth leagues out there playing soccer, really built up the park. And on yesterday, it was the the ICE Gestapo decide to mount up on horses and have their long rifles out and walk uh, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder in this park. So let me show this to you. This ice stunt backfires, turning entire city against Trump. Okay, that's the title.
Police right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
That is the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. Moments earlier, in the grand Trump administration tradition of absurd theater, a battalion of federal agents in full tactical gear, including a dozen on horseback, descended on MacArthur Park. They were armed with rifles, military-style Humvees, and a stupefying absence of reason. Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. I said the stated purpose was a raid, but the result was a spectacle clearly intended to terrify low-income Latino residents, appease the right-wing haters, and perhaps furnish a few juicy images for Donald Trump. What transpired was not so much a law enforcement operation as a grotesque carnival of federal overreach. Soldiers swept a soccer field, ICE agents strutted with the gravity of tyrants, and somewhere in the dust, a group of children, yes, children, playing in the park as part of a day camp were hurried away. Mayor Karen Bass, to her credit, confronted the ICE jackboots with righteous fury, and she demanded to know who was in charge, at which point one agent handed her his phone, ostensibly connected to the ICE boss.
Getting ready to leave? Okay, please. Can you leave ASAP? What is the issue?
Later, Bass held a news conference.
To me, this is another example of the administration ratcheting up chaos by deploying what looked like a military operation in an American city.
Okay, the link is in my description box. I wanted to give you that just in case you haven't seen it. Hey, choreo lover. It was all theater. That's what this whole administration is. From these floods, them not doing anything. They had a city council meeting prior to this whole flood situation where they were talking about installing horns and stuff out so that people will be warned. And one of the city council members said, well, I don't know if that would be financially expedient, if that would be something the people would want to spend their money on. And where is he now? He's not in front of a camera now. They were talking about the cost that it would have to have sirens, something very, very simple to warn against floods that they have known that happens in this region all the time. Okay, so let me share this with you since I'm talking about it. We'll go into some of this stuff. Let me see. I apologize. 1 second. Okay, let's get into some of these videos that I have. They're all in the description box. That one about the ice going through the park is also in the description box. And can we, at this point, with the my thumbnail, can we now understand that we're getting all of this theater as our dollar is getting more and more worthless as these trade deals. Remember, it was supposed to be 90 trade deals in 90 days, and they have said that they have 2 trade deals, and they are really not trade deals. They are agreements, which is far from a deal which is signed in specific. They have presented 2 alleged trade deals, and now all of a sudden you had them on camera yesterday saying that they're sending out letters to tell people exactly different countries exactly what they are paying. And That was on yesterday. Yesterday was the 8th. Was the 7th. Today's the 8th. We heard last week. We heard a month ago that they would be sending out letters. We heard last week that they'd be sending out letters. And then we heard yesterday that they have letters and they have a stack of letters. And but the deadline is tomorrow. So you had letters that you had not sent out yesterday that you wanted to say that you were telling people. But do you remember when this first happened? When he was in the Rose Garden with that chart saying what country would pay which tariff? That was way back in, I believe, February, where he said people were calling, the phone was ringing off the hook for people who wanted to make deals. And now he's down to, I'm sending out letters to tell them what they'll be paying. Do you know what's going on though? Do you actually know what's going on? He wants to charge an extra 10% to any nation who is in what? The BRICS. Do you hear anyone else talking about the BRICS? I told you about the BRICS prior to this election and how powerful their trading power is, and how if they get more nations trading with the BRICS, how weak the US dollar will become. And that's exactly what's happening. Mexico, one of our allies, is now looking at doing trade with the BRICS. Canada is trading with the BRICS. They're trying to sell their oil with the BRICS, where they do not have to use the US dollars. See, that's the little catching point. They don't have to depend on the US or dollar to do any trade. And now 47 calls himself all up in a bunch. And if they trade with the BRICS, I'm going to charge them an extra 10% on tariff because they're trying to weaken the dollar. No, actually, it's not their fault that they're trading with the BRICS. It's his fault that they're trading with the BRICS. It's not them who's weakening the dollar. It's him who is weakening the dollar. Are we available to have any common sense that this man is ruining this country as we've known it? I'm just curious. Okay, let me see. Let's see him get called out on a couple of these. 90 and 90 days. Okay. Let me see. This is him chickening out on these tariffs. Let me share this with you. Okay, here we go. And everybody's all walking around like, oh, ain't nothing going on. Oh, nothing's new. Let me share this with you. Let me see what Choreo Lover. Latinos better fight back like those Haitians in New York City. Yes, I don't know if you missed the young lady who I just played. The link is in my description box. He never learned. Tariffs haven't worked, but he's still trying to intimidate them with the same mess, the same exact mess. And it's not the other country that pays the tariffs. We are the people who are going to be paying these tariffs. Okay, here we go. Let me see. The name of this is all fake. There is no deadline. Insider reveals Trump trade deal is a game. Well, we know it's a game because he keeps changing the rules on his made up game. Let's see this.
August 1st. Is the quality of the deals, not the quantity. My mailbox was full last night with a lot of new offers, a lot of new proposals. So it's going to be a busy couple of days. But importantly, too, that President Trump has said that the countries would not go back to the reciprocal rate until August 1st.
Hi, Hi again, everybody. It's now 5 o'clock in the East with the 90 deals in 90 days deadline just 2 days from right now. Donald Trump's officials have moved the goalposts with a new message, new spin, a new August 1st deadline for those 90 deals in, well, not 90 days anymore. Just this afternoon, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt confirmed that Donald Trump will make that change official with an executive order. The shifting timelines are leaving many of America's trade partners with more questions than answers. But there is one thing that is abundantly clear. Donald Trump thinks the tariff game is just that, a game, and that it looks good on him. As one White House insider tells Politico, quote, Trump knows the most interesting part of his presidency is the tariff conversation. It's all fake. There is no deadline. It's a self-imposed landmark in his theatrical show, and that's where we are, end quote. Keep that in mind.
Kind of like that 4th of July deadline to pass that big, horrendous, busted bill. It was a tight deadline. And like Susan Murkowski was like, hey, we have a deadline and we shouldn't have to work within this deadline. We need more time. But she voted yes on the bill like the weak bitch she is. Let's continue.
Business owners far and wide. It's a joke. It's all for show. Trump is abruptly re-escalating his man-made trade war today, sending letters to at least 14 countries, setting tariff rates between 25 and 40%. They'll go into effect on that new August 1st deadline, absent any more moving of the goalposts or deals. Those countries include top U.S. allies like Japan and South Korea. Why all of this is now been reported to be a, quote, game to Donald Trump, there are very real consequences to the volatile nature of his on-again, off-again tariffs. With the renewed tensions today, stocks fell 1%, the Dow sank roughly 400 points. Now an extra few weeks could perhaps produce a few more deals than the current partial ones that exist with the UK and Vietnam. But as the New York Times reports today, quote, with tariffs threatening to strain diplomatic relations and bring some global commerce to a halt, a delay of a few weeks may not do much to soothe many foreign governments. It could also further unsettle financial markets, which revolted when Trump initially announced his global tariffs, a meltdown that prompted Trump to institute the 90-day delay. They add this, quote, his tactics have stripped businesses of the certainty they need to plan, resulting in higher prices, less investment, and slower economic growth for the country. That is where we start the hour. Some of our favorite experts and friends, U.S. financial commentator for the Financial Times and writer of the
Okay, this link is in my description box. Go over there and check it out. This is the reason why we are why they call him Taco Trump. What is it? Trump always chicken out. That's why they call it because the Dow dropped after that Rose Garden display of what how much each country would be charged with tariffs. So the bottom fell out of the stock market, and then all of a sudden he decided to put a pause on the tariffs. And now they were supposed that pause was supposed to put the tariff back in effect on tomorrow. And he was supposed to have all these deals. None of this has materialized. The only thing that has materialized that people who have worked all their lives trying to save in their 401k for retirement, they have lost the bulk of their money. While he gave a dog whistle for rich people to go back in and start investing. And then the very next day, he put a pause on the tariffs. This is a game that he's playing, and he doesn't give a fuck about regular people who are being harmed in this, just as long as his rich buddies get a heads up and are able to win at the stock market after he calls all these losses. Let's be real clear. So there's another clip I want to share with you about this. I had set my live for today, and then I said, I'll forget it. I'll do it tomorrow. But child, by tomorrow, it's going to be so much more shit to talk about. Here we go.
July 9th, the day after tomorrow, is the 90-day deadline for 90 deals in 90 days. So the expectation would be, well, on July 9th, the tariffs go into place if the 90 deals aren't made. Trump is asked about that because now they're saying, well, they would go into place in August. But then, so what does the deadline really mean? I don't know. And Trump's just confused.
Mr. President, do the tariff rates change at all on July 9th, or do they change on August 1st?
What are you talking about?
Tariff rates.
What are you talking about? You know, like your main thing that you're doing economically?
Do they change on July 9th or August 1st?
No, they're going to be tariffs. The tariffs are going to be the tariffs. I think we'll have most countries done by July 9th, yeah. Either a letter or a deal.
But they go into effect on August 1st. Tariffs go into effect August 1st.
There's Howard Lutnick having to save him. Trump has no idea what's going on. It's a very interesting question.
No, the question was for him. He doesn't even know the answer to the question. These tariffs, I made a mistake and said Howard Lutnick is the one who was big on the tariffs and made the tariff the whole agenda. He's the Commerce Secretary. No, it was Navarro, Peter Navarro, who went to jail for 45, 47, spent a couple of months in jail for what he did on the last term of 45 and 47. Peter Navarro, who transposed the spelling of his name and to put in a book that this was a economic expert that said how great tariffs were and how good they boost the economy. And it was just a mixed mashup of how he spelled Navarro. I think he called him Rick something. I can't forget the name. But it was a mix-up of the letters in the word Navarro. Put it in a book as a economic expert. And this is who we're listening to with these tariffs that have been bankrupting regular American citizens it is too late for them to recoup their personal wins in their 401k that have been lost. Are we clear on this? Well, I guess a lot of people who don't have 401ks, so they don't care about this. I just like the people who've lost Medicaid. The people who are not on Medicaid, they don't care about this, not knowing that they are going to suffer in their own whatever insurance plans they have. They're going to suffer. But hey, ignorant is bliss, and it seems like there are a lot of bliss people walking around on the YouTube streets.
The deadline
be assured, everybody's not dumb like these dummies that walk around here worried about dumb shit. That's why, hey, I'm here. I'm going to give you the real information. Do with it at whatever you choose to.
Is July 9th. For what? Well, I guess not really for the tariffs going into place, but wasn't it a 90-day pause on the tariffs? Yes, it was a 90-day pause, after which there's a 21-day moratorium. What? They don't have any idea what they're doing. They just have no idea what they are doing, and Trump has no clue what's going on. Reporter says, hey, we're having a problem in Texas with these floods. There's vacancies at the National Weather Service. Are you investigating this? Trump's like, nah, it's Biden's fault, but also I wouldn't really blame Biden either.
Okay?
Are you investigating whether some of the cuts to the federal government left key vacancies at the National Weather Service or in the emergency?
Now, look at Howard Lutnick shaking his head. This is not your question to answer. You're going to say he's never done anything wrong. But y'all do want to say that Elon is out of hand. He's out of control. He's lost it because the day before yesterday, he said he wanted to create a third party. But he wasn't out of control when he left the weather service in dire straits. And there is no one over the job that would have made sure these people who are now dead. I think it's up to 160 people right now. And this numbnut is over there shaking his head. No, it couldn't be our fault.
Look at Lutnick shaking his head like a lap dog.
They did not.
They did. I'll tell you, if you look at that what a situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe.
Listen, he's saying it's Biden's setup, but he wouldn't blame Biden. Very generous of him. Of course.
Let's say it's 100-year catastrophe. Okay, I'm going to leave it at there because I'm going to show you that, in fact, no, it is not a 100-year catastrophe. I'm telling you that these people should have had some preparedness for this storm. Let's look at another clip that has 45-47 in a uproar. Here we go. I think her name is Jessica Carlisle on Fox News has his panties in a bunch. She does a show on Fox News, The Five, and of the five, she is the only one who is not out here touting Trump propaganda.
Pivoted to something that has rocked the nation, the deadly floods in Texas. Liberal voice in the panel, Jessica Tarlov, reminded her co-hosts who were playing the Stop Politicizing Tragedy card who the person was that was spreading lies and disinformation regarding FEMA during Hurricane Helene. This, of course, when Biden was in charge. It was Donald Trump. But now they're suddenly clutching their pearls at the mere mention of how this tragedy could have potentially been preventable.
In light of the floods, do you think that the federal government needs to hire back any of the meteorologists who were fired in the last few months?
I wouldn't know that. I really wouldn't. I would think not. This was the thing that happened in seconds. Nobody expected it. Nobody saw it. Very talented people are there, and they didn't see it. It's, I guess they said once in 100 years, they've never seen anything like this. So I wouldn't, people are trying to blame the school. They're trying to blame the camp. They're trying to blame, it's just a horrible thing. But no, I wouldn't say that, no.
Tarlov approached the subject very carefully, noting from the top that it doesn't negate from the tragedy itself to discuss what countless experts have pointed out. Questions that arise regarding the timeliness of the response.
Listen, this is one of the more devastating stories that I think we've had to cover as a mother of two daughters that are going to go to camp at some point. I cannot even imagine what that feels like. I've been reading the testimonials, especially about the fathers and grandfathers that are walking around that camp looking for a thermos with their kid's name on it or some sign that they were there. Maybe they find a body of another camper. Maybe they find their own child or grandchild. Unimaginable. I'm so sorry for them. And I'm sorry for any hurt that any comments about this tragedy has caused these families. I don't think that talking about preparedness or what might have helped qualifies as impugning the memory of those that have been lost or detracting from the thoughtful conversation that needs to take place, because this river has been flooding for a very long time. There are a number of instances in this. And we were here around the table when Hurricane Helene struck, and I did not hear Jesse Waters, who I'm thrilled is back around the table, saying that Donald Trump should stop spreading lies about the Biden administration and the FEMA funds. Trump came out and he said, they're giving your FEMA dollars to illegals. They're housing them with your FEMA dollars. Then he said, you're only going to get $750 from FEMA, which was a complete lie. And there are Republican officials who have testified to the fact that people did not get their FEMA assistance because of what Trump and other Republicans were saying. You also don't need to trust or go to Democrats to politicize it. You can look at this GOP state rep, Wes Verdell, who said that he would have voted differently on a bill that was before the House last year. I think it was House Bill number 13, that was going to add more money for disaster response and better alert systems, radio towers, et cetera. There are over $54 billion in identified needs in terms of disaster resistance when it comes to these kinds of flash floods that state officials are asking for, and the GOP legislature has rejected them. That is something that they can work on to move forward and hopefully avoid a tragedy like this again.
And call to attention how Texas Senator Ted Cruz literally inserted language into the Republicans' big, beautiful bill prior to its signing by Donald Trump on Friday, language that eliminates $150 million funding to, quote, accelerate advances and improvements in research, observation systems, modeling, forecasting assessments, and dissemination of information to the public around weather forecasting.
Was it ever
Okay, so now he's in front of the microphone after this tragedy. Now he's at the microphone, not knowing that people have discovered what the language he personally put in this bill. And where is he now? He's on vacation again. You remember when they had the polar vortex in Texas, and he decided to take a vacation? Now, after this shit comes out, he's on vacation again now. And we're going to speak about J.D. Vance vacation in Chicago, how he got sneered and
communicated to you that there was a need, that it was a priority to have a warning system so people had a chance to escape something like this?
Well, listen, I think anytime you're dealing with major rivers, there's a risk of flooding, and there's always been a risk of flooding, particularly on the Guadalupe River. I will say, in the wake of every tragedy,
so you should treat it like it's going to always flood. So that takes away any of your verbiage that you said that you shouldn't do some advanced science to get advanced warnings. See, it's not anyone's. It's the water's fault. It's Guadalupe's fault. How bad are we gonna take Guadalupe and refrigerate her with ice and throw her in the alligator Alcatraz? It's Guadalupe's fault. She's a foreigner. By God, don't you know whose fault it is? Let's continue.
Tragedy, there are things that are predictable. One of the things that's predictable is that you see some people engaging in, I think, partisan games and trying to blame their political opponents for a natural disaster. And you see that with a hurricane, with a tornado, with a wildfire, with this flooding, where people immediately say, well, the hurricane is Donald Trump's fault. Look, that I think most.
Well, who said the fires? Who said the fires was Gavin Newsom's fault? 45, 47. These are not partisan games. These are people talking about the things that you put in the bill and the beliefs that you had about weather science. Let's be clear.
Normal Americans know that's ridiculous, and I think this is not a time for partisan finger pointing and attacks.
And what's your response, knowing the statement cuts to the NWS in recent months by this administration?
So I don't know the source for what you're saying. All of the public reporting I've seen is that there were two alerts that went out, one just after 1 a.m., one after 4 a.m. I can tell you, I talked about the partisan finger pointing. I think there have been some eager to point at the National Weather Service and say cuts there led to a lack of warning. I think that's contradicted by the facts. I think it is reasonable over time to engage in a retrospective and say at every level what could have been done better, because all of us.
No, it's reasonable to call your ass on the carpet while you standing right there to your motherfucking face. That is what's reasonable. Now, there is also this thing. Well, alerts went out at 1:44 in the morning. There were alerts that went out. This camp did not allow any of their children to bring their cell phones to the camp. Let's be clear about that. Alerts were given out on the phone. But most people turn their phones off when they go to sleep. Where are they getting this narrative? This is the narrative that they have been trying to expound on all day. Now, most people, when they go out of town, they use their phones for their alarm clocks. So most people turn their phones off at night. So you're blaming it on the people. You're blaming it on the victims because they turn. Where do most people turn their phones off at night at? Can anybody, I need an answer from somebody. Tell me when you turn your phone off when you are on a trip. I'm waiting. I'll let this play while you guys give me an answer. What you do with your cell phone at night when you're on a trip?
Would want to prevent this horrific loss of life, but I think just immediately trying to use it for either side to attack their political opponents, I think that's cynical and not the right approach, particularly at a time when we're dealing with a crisis and we're dealing with grief.
Now, of course, this bill, it doesn't go into effect until 2027, but the point remains, right? Like, why are we cutting more funding in the future to deal with readiness? I mean, not to mention that more than 600 employees have exited the National Weather Service amid a Trump administration push to shrink the government workforce, leaving many offices short-staffed of meteorologists and other support workers. And around a fifth of all full-time workers at FEMA are also set to depart.
Well, according to our CNN reporting by our colleagues, Andrew Friedman, Emma Tucker, and Mary Gilbert, there are 2 offices of the National Weather Service in Texas that are closely involved in forecasting and warning about flooding on the Guadalupe River. Those are the Austin, San Antonio office of the National Weather Service and its office in San Angelo, Texas. They are missing some key staff members, but they still issued several watches and warnings about the flood danger. Tom Fahey, he is the legislative director for the National Weather Services Employees Union. He told CNN that while he believes the offices had, quote, adequate staffing and resources, the Austin San Antonio office is missing what they call a warning coordination meteorologist. That's a role that serves as a crucial direct link between forecasters and emergency managers.
That seems like a very important position to not have somebody sitting in after this catastrophe about warning coordination. Doesn't that seem like an important position to leave open? Do you hear anybody asking any of this right-wing press pool asking these questions? No, you don't. No, you don't. This is not just Texas weather service system. This is the whole United States weather system has been affected in this way. And every state in this union is susceptible to the catastrophe with the weather system. Every state in this union, be it earthquake, be it hurricanes, be it tornadoes, every state can be affected. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe now? And let's understand that this place where this happened is a 45-47 district. This is his own people. So you don't hear him saying that the governor has to do something or he's not going to give them money. This is a red state. And let's be clear that California brings in more money that is disseminated mostly in red states because they're so dirt poor. But he's going to, because California is a blue state, he's trying to put stipulations on the fire relief, but he's opening hell and high waters. Yes, hell and high waters. That's what he's opening up to give to Texas. He gave them hell and his cuts gave the high waters. Now he wants you to believe that he will do anything for any state. Well, any red states it is, after they done fucked up the whole situation. Let's continue.
We can also tell you that this morning, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said she is not aware of any breakdown in emergency warning systems that could have contributed to the high death toll. But Kerrville City Manager Dalton Rice says officials there are committed to doing what he calls a full review of events and the systems in place after so many questions have been raised about emergency notifications and evacuation guidance. Well, this has got to be a completely forensic review of this to figure out what may have broken down here.
But pointing this out, according to the professional goalpost shifters, that being the Republican Party, is politicizing tragedy. But when Trump literally spreads misinformation that puts people at risk of trying to obtain FEMA funding, in the middle of a catastrophe. That's not politicizing tragedy.
But he's pointed out that it's damaging the rumors that that is what is happening, the rumors that are circulating. And with regard to that, things that the former president has said is FEMA funds were stolen to be used to house illegal migrants, that no one from FEMA was on the ground in North Carolina, that funds were being withheld from Republican areas of the state on purpose. None of that is true.
However, after he became president, the extra funds that FEMA was to give to North Carolina, he told them he's refusing to give them the funds. But when Biden was in office, these are all the things that he was lying about FEMA not being on the ground. Remember that Harris only wants to give people $700 or $800. That was to get them in a hotel for the night until they could contact FEMA and get on FEMA's list. But they acted as if the only funds that she wanted to give them was $700 or $800, as if that was a one-time offer in total. These are the lies that they were saying when Helene went through. Let's be real clear. Let's see what this cunt has to say.
FEMA says that worse than it not being true, it is dangerous that if this is pushed and circulated for the people who are most in need of help. With that knowledge, is the former president going to stop saying this?
Well, first of all, Kate, let me just express our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Western North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and now Florida, who are bracing for another devastating hurricane. The bottom line is that FEMA spent $1 billion on funding for illegal immigrants that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden let into the country. CNN and many mainstream media outlets reported that more than a month ago. Now, today, we find ourselves in a predicament where Americans are in dire situations in need of food and of water. And Secretary Mayorkas last week said that FEMA does not have sufficient funding to get through this crisis and through the rest of hurricane season.
But Caroline,
speaking of Secretary Mayorkas,
Caroline, I wanted. We just had
Kate.
Secretary
Speaking
Mayorkas
of
on, but
Secretary
no. But first, on that, let's keep to the facts, which is on that suggestion that Donald Trump did make that they were stealing money from FEMA and using it, and it's all gone because they're using it to house migrants. That's not true. There's no disaster relief fund money that was going to house migrants.
So she just repeated the lie. At the same time, I just showed you on yesterday, they are spending FEMA money up to the tune of $450 million for these alligator Auschwitz or Alcatraz or whatever the fuck they want to call it for their concentration camp in Florida. That's how much is that to house immigrants, bitch? Is that FEMA money going to house immigrants? Let's continue.
I don't think the American people care which pocket the money came from.
And I'll echo Tarlov's comments on the matter.
I think they do care what pocket it came from, because you just said it came from FEMA's pocket, bitch. But now when she presses back with the facts, I don't think America cares which pocket of the federal government it came from. Okay, let me calm down. You know they're liars, Ronnie Q. Why are you getting upset? I don't know.
Pointing out that resources for weather forecasting, as well as broader work to understand the unfolding climate crisis, is set for further cutbacks under the Trump administration, does not distract from this horrific tragedy. It sheds light on how ill-prepared we will be in the future, again, if a tragedy like this is to unfold. I mean, when you look at the Trump administration's 2026 budget proposal, it seeks to dismantle all of NOAA's weather and climate research labs.
They wish to zero out any research, any climate research, whether it's climate. So they don't want any research done on it. Okay, so here we are. The loud part that no one wants to say out loud from this administration, but was in this budget cut. That a madman, a man who has lost it all, made these draconian cuts to this agency. that affects every American. So the link is in my description box. It's a lot going on. Hey, no pressure. It is good to see you. I don't feel safe. I have people close to me that live in Tornado Alley, and we were wondering if the tornado sirens will still go off to warn them in time. Girl, and Greg Abbott, I don't know what he was saying. I had my headsets on as that man, my man, was watching CNN. Greg Abbott was on the TV for an extended period of time, and somebody said somebody need to roll that motherfucker in front of the train in front of a train with this bullshit. Somebody need to roll that motherfucker off the side of a bank into that water with this bullshit he talking. I cannot tell you what Greg Abbott was saying, but it sounds like Greg Abbott was saying a lot of bullshit. So Greg Abbott, I will tell you what Greg Abbott is saying on tomorrow if I can stomach his ass. But these were the cat calls that were coming behind what he was saying. I don't know what he was saying. I'll tell you tomorrow. I can't pretend like I know what got this response from somebody who was listening to him, but those were the response. Have you changed your hours? No, Choreo Lover. I got up early and only had 45 minutes before my show, and I didn't think I would fall back asleep, and my phone was in the other room with the alarm on it, and so I fell back to sleep and I missed my alarm. I have not changed my hour, Choreo Lover. I missed you on Monday. What's today? Wednesday. I missed you on Monday. You must have thought I had changed my hours, but no, I haven't changed my hours. I'm trying to get back on the train and be timely. Yes, I'm at my regular time as regular, except when something comes up. And then I said, okay, I'll do 4 p.m. And then I went out of town for a long weekend. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself. We all need to get out of town and enjoy ourselves. A couple of weekends ago, I had such a good time. If you guys, some of you guys may be familiar with the Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang Clan. What is it? The Wu-Tang Clan. Is it Clan? If you guys don't know, they are retiring, and they are doing a retirement tour. And somebody told me to be dressed at a certain time, and then I said, "Well, what should I wear? You know, just wear this, that, and the other." And I was like, "Okay." And then we get to a stadium. I was like, "Who's playing?" Wu-Tang. They are retiring. What? And I was like, oh, I bet Method Man ain't gonna be here. Ciao. Last time I saw Method Man, he was on that show where he was playing a pimp, and he had that long perm, that Terrence Howard press and curl, flipped up and shit. Ciao. Woo. Ciao. Method Man was there. All of them was there. Oh my God. I have never seen my husband so hype. Oh, he was hype up. We had some good seats. They weren't stadium seats. They were like a mezzanine seat that had the little bar in front of you, and the stools were all comfy and shit. And oh my God, it was such a good show. Let me tell you something. If you guys have not seen this show, if it's coming to your area, please go see this show. And what's that? Do call. And I was like, I wasn't a Wu-Tang fan. My husband is a Wu-Tang fan. So I didn't know all their names. And I was like, who is that? Mick Gruffs, Mick somebody. I said, I bet he was real skinny and nerdy in his day. But it was like you could tell that he probably was a little skinny, nerdy guy. Oh, my God. But that guy, he owned that fucking set. What is his name? Does anybody know? Mick somebody. They all owned that stage. It was such a good concert, and they was like, let's bring out YDB, and I was like, who is YDB? Young Dirty Bastard. His son did all of his parts. Oh my god. His son, Old Dirty Bastard's son, did all of Old Dirty Bastard's part, and you got to see the show if you have the opportunity. If you grew up in that era, I knew some of their songs, but like I say, I was on the West Coast. He was on the East Coast when they came out. I am familiar with some of their stuff, some of their work, but I tell you, it was a great show. Back to I don't know how I got off on that. They ain't been the same since ODB passed to me. Oh wow. Yes, it was Choreo says she went out of town. So if you get a chance, check that out. And all of the stuff that they are doing, a lot of them have products, video games. There's a ODB. I mean, there's a Wu-Tang production that's coming out. A little series about Wu-Tang. One of them have a video game coming out. They all have things that they are working on and projects that they are working on beyond their retirement. So I was really glad to hear. I mean, it was like really good. It was really, really good. They had some female singers on there singing some rips and stuff. Oh my God, these women were fantastic. Oh, such a great show. Anyway, okay. Why is this lie about nobody could have predicted this? This was 100-year thing that nobody could have ever predicted. Is that right? Let me show you this.
Also happened in July. One of the worst floods along the Guadalupe River in the Hill Country, other than today's, also happened in July. It was back in 1987 when 10 summer campers died during a flash flood. Here's more from KVU's Bob Buckaloo.
July 1987, along the Guadalupe River near Comfort, Texas. Teenagers trapped in trees after a wall of water washed them away. It happened when a caravan of buses was trying to escape from a church camp through a low water crossing after an overnight storm. When their bus stalled, they formed a human chain to try and walk out, only to have a wall of water scatter them into the raging river. Throughout the day, DPS and Army helicopters and the news chopper from San Antonio's Ken's TV rescued dozens of teens and adults stranded in trees. Many of the rescues were successful, but not all. A young girl, exhausted from trying to keep afloat, was too weak to grasp a rope and fell back into the water. She did not survive. 33 people were plucked from the river and lived, but 10 teenagers drowned, their names inscribed in a memorial plaque near the river today. July 17, 1987, a story of survival and of the heroes who saved their lives, and a story about those who were lost to a summer storm. Sadly, on July 4, 2025, a similar story of floods, rescues, and prayers for survivors. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
Okay, also there was a storm in there was the 87 storm, there was a 92 storm, a 97 storm, and a storm sometime in the 2000s. So let's be clear. 10 people lost their lives in the storms in the 80s. And they were trying to get out. So obviously something warned them to the point that they were actually trying to get out of the storm. Now, you have to think in the 80s, the weather system was not what it is in the 2025. But these people were actually trying to get out. In 2025, this storm caught these people flat-footed in their actual camp, not trying to get out with no advance warning. So let that thing sink in. Okay, so I have a couple of more things I want to share with you. Let's talk about Alligator Alley. I showed you yesterday how they are making jokes about these migrants can have to learn to run zigzag to escape the pythons and the alligators, and we got something for them if they escape, and all of this type of stuff. And I also showed you that nothing is new under the sun, where history shows that they used the babies of slaves to lure alligators on alligator hunts. So if you think these people are kidding, this is in their nature. And they're going back to nature. See, they want to keep their history alive. Why do you think they want to get rid of history books? Because they don't want this little nasty piece of history to be seen, because it makes them feel bad about themselves. But it doesn't empower you to know exactly who you're dealing with. And so when they come out and make jokes and have merch, when they have all of this merchandise, these people love their merchandise. Let's see some of the merchandise that they have for this Alligator Alley. I showed you the merch. Didn't I show you the merch? This is some of the merch. This is some of the propaganda that they have. These are the new ICE agents. And then they have actual merchandise that you can purchase. Alligator Alcatraz. Yes, they do have the merch available. Kind of pretty much like when they were using black slaves to lure the alligators. Mammy's little alligator bait. They had postcards and things to make it feel normal. To make it seem like it is. This is cute. This is funny. This is not dangerous. Yes, these same people. These same people who want to control the past by eliminating it will also be controlling your future, and they don't want you to know what's in your future. This is what's in your future. So let me share the new updates of what they have now. Alligator Alcatraz is flooded on its first day. They say that they are going to be eliminating waste directly into the Everglades. The Everglades that many Floridians get their water from. So let's see what the latest update on Alligator Alcatraz is. Okay, here we go.
This prison camp, which many people are calling a concentration camp.
Hold on.
Alligator Alcatraz detainees.
Slow this down. I have it too fast. Here we go. The update.
Corporate outlets or independent outlets. Let me give you the details as new information is coming out about the horrific conditions inside this prison camp, which many people are calling a concentration camp. Alligator Alcatraz.
Now, this is week 1. Understand, this is the first week. Week 1.
As detainees describe conditions at Everglades facility. Florida still has not released the number of people being detained at what they call Alligator Alcatraz, but for the first time, we're hearing from several men who are being held inside the facility. I will tell you from sources that we have developed, I'm hearing estimated about 500 to 1,000 people are in there in the first few days, and they are building up to a capacity of 5,000 beds. So right now is a couple hundred inside the prison. Florida, Limzy Izquierdo, also known as Limzy La Figura, a self-described Cuban urban artist, was arrested for a violent incident and has been at the detention center out in the Everglades since Friday. Quote, "There is no water here to bathe," he told Telemundo 51, adding it's been 4 days since he has showered. He believes there are about 400 people inside the facility. Quote, "They give you food only once a day, food that even has worms in it." Izquierdo said. Food that has worms in it. Well, MAGA is going to say, they're being dramatic. They're making it up. Well, we've covered the
Now, yeah, and that's exactly what MAGA will say. Oh, they're lying. Oh, no. Let's be clear. Let's be clear that they're not lying. That there are many prisons in the United States that serve meals or with worms in it, with other live bugs in it, because they use the supplier that is the cheapest. So it is not about the content of the meal. It's about what somebody can, what price they can bring in to supply these prison and mostly these private for-profit prisons. What is Alligator Alcatraz? That is a private for-profit detention center. That is privately owned, but the federal government is paying $450 million a year out of the FEMA funds to feed people worms. Let's continue.
ICE prison, the other hellhole in New Jersey, not surrounded by alligators, although politicians are pretty corrupt there, kind of like alligators. There was a prison riot because they were only getting food once a day, if that. In some cases, they weren't getting food and water for almost 24 hours. The food they were getting was pretty gross. I don't know about worms, but the water tasted funky. So this matches what is going on in other facilities around the country. So a prisoner is describing getting food once a day with worms in it. The detention center lights are always on 24/7, and the mosquitoes are, quote, the size of elephants. He said they are not allowed to go outside, and the tents are freezing. Izquierdo's partner, Kasha, says he's a permanent resident who was arrested last week. He was first taken to Turner Gifford Knight Correctional Center, then to Miramar, and finally to the Everglades facility. Quote, I don't think it's humane to have people in these conditions. The other inmates had similar complaints. A Columbia national said he's been there 3 days without his medicine. So you got food with worms. You have one meal a day with worms. You have no water to bathe in. You have people not showering for several days while being eaten up. Speaking of the devil, I have a fly above me. Being eaten up by mosquitoes the size of elephants. You ever have mosquito bites? Imagine just having to lie in it without cool water. And I'm sure they're not giving them aloe for their mosquito bites the size of elephants. And people being deprived their medicine. How's that for making America great again? This is a torture camp in the heart of the swamp. Forget the alligators for a second. The mosquitoes very often carry disease. It is over 100 degrees with the heat index. They are not giving prisoners medicine. And add cherry on top, this is right in the bullseye of hurricanes, which, looking at what's going on in Texas right now, where over 100 have died, still folks missing. There is reporting and evidence to indicate that cuts to the National Weather Service and NOAA directly affected the lack of warning signals that went out to this community, affecting the Texas flooding and deaths. Now we're putting an outdoor torture camp in the middle of hurricanes, where potentially thousands of people are going to, be evacuated quick.
And I also showed you on, I believe it was Monday, that they say that these tents that they have them because that can withstand a Category 2 hurricane, but these tents were flooding under a regular Florida summer shower. So if you could see the ceiling, the roof of these tents, the way they were flapping around in a regular summer shower. They say they want you to believe that they can withhold a Category 2 hurricane. So this link is in my description box. Hey, Kind to Me, it's good to see you. So go over there and check this out. Oh my God, I didn't think about those who needs meds and mosquito bites. Let me tell you about mosquito bites. Certain people have an adverse effect to mosquito bites, and I am one of those people. I used to spend all of our summers down in the rural South, and I would have to go to the biggest town. My aunt would have to take my sister and I to the biggest town in the middle, halfway through our trip, because our mosquito bites had gotten so bad, and it would be like big lumps it's under our skin. And you know how you'll scratch it and then they'll run, and then it was like another mosquito, another sore. We were fucked up by the mid or 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, and we would have to go get a shot to dry up our mosquito bites. And now I cannot imagine. And it seems like the mosquitoes were liked us for some reason. Some of our cousins wouldn't even get mosquito bites. I understand that I am such a sweet woman. It must be in my blood, because we attracted those mosquitoes. So I cannot imagine not getting treated for mosquito bites, because I definitely know. Renee, you know what? Ronnie Q, did you hear about the lawsuit that they're bringing against the alligator Alcatraz, and 4547 is denying that the government has anything to do with the prison, and said it was all DeSantis? Well, if it was all DeSantis, why is he using FEMA funds to pay for it? It's a private prison at that. I did hear that there are 3 to 6 organizations that are, in fact, from environmental people, people from the Seminole Indian reservation. I think it was either 3 to 6 entities that are suing the prisons. Yes, I've heard about that. Hey, Renee, I saw you were in here early and said that I had locked Sassy them out of the room. No, Sassy came in and woke me up early, Renee, I explained. And she woke me up earlier than my alarm, and then I went and I took them out earlier, and then I propped up my computer, and then I said, I got like 45 minutes. I'm gonna go in here and lay down on my bed and watch a little TV for a little while. And the next thing I know, it was 7 something in the morning, and I had missed my show. I saw your little smart remarks in the comment. But they didn't do that this time. Hot and humid, no meds, no air, wormy food, and will probably flood during it flooded the first day during a summer a regular Miami summer storm. It was flooding. The water was coming in. They had all these extension cords all on the floor, and the water headed right to them. On Monday I played that video. See what happens when you don't listen to a Rascal and Saucy? I see what happens. I'm going to do better. Okay, so this link is in my description box. Go over there to the Stratus Coup. They are a great place for information. Now, let's talk about the visitor to the White House on yesterday. Who is aware about the visitor to the White House? They didn't do a whole lot of press when Benjamin Netanyahu snuck into the White House. And that was one of the things that they said, that they weren't going to do the spray where they have the press ask questions. You know how they were sitting down talking about how they're going to make Palestine into a world-class place for visitors and all of this shit. And Netanyahu, his eyes buck like, are we really? Okay, so you have 4547 sitting down at a table. They did do this, and Pete Hegseth, I need you to do a better a sober face. Pete Hegseth looking like he's about to tip over. He's so drunk. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. And so all of a sudden, Benjamin Netanyahu stands up and tells 4547 that he has This is a copy of the letter that I wrote to give you a Nobel Peace Prize. You remember there was someone else, and I think he was a Ukrainian who wrote a letter to nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize, because that's how it's done. Someone first has to nominate you, then they have to consider it, review it, whatever. But the first person, he rescinded his letter. So Netanyahu, the war criminal who is wanted all over the world by The Hague, and many nations said if they have the chance, they will arrest him on sight if he step foot on their land. A war criminal who is keeping his word for his crimes against humanity, for, in my opinion, what he is now actively doing in Palestine. So they pretend like, oh yeah, a Palestine solution is soon. But then in this at the table, they did have a few press there, and they asked if it was going to be a two-state solution. And then, of course, Netanyahu said, no, well, we always have to be safe, and we can't be safe around those people as they are unaliving the whole Palestinian bloodline. What I wanted you to hear is this is who stood up and said that he has nominated 4547 for a Nobel Peace Prize for what he did in Iran. Now, understand, what he did in Iran came on the heels of Benjamin Netanyahu, the war criminal who is on arrest list. They attacked Iran first, and then we turned around and attacked them second. And this is the thing that Netanyahu wants to give him a peace prize for striking another country that didn't do anything to us or Israel. Let's go. Oh, I thought I had it set up. Let me set it up and then we go. Can you believe this shit? Okay. This is David Pakman. If you are not subscribed to him, you may want to go check him out. The name of this is Trump was played like a fiddle, doesn't even realize it. Hold on. I don't think I'm sharing it. Am I sharing it? No, I don't think I'm sharing it. Okay. Now I'm sharing it. I apologize for that.
Appearance at the White House yesterday. A joint appearance at the White House yesterday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu handed Trump a piece of paper, and he says with a straight face, I have nominated you for a Nobel Peace Prize. And Trump goes, wow, I didn't even know that. No skepticism, not a hint that Netanyahu might be buttering him up so that then Trump lets Netanyahu do whatever the hell he does. Just a naive, wide-eyed ego boost for Donald Trump. Listen to this.
So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved, and you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Wow. Thank you very much. Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much, Bibi.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Bibi is playing Trump like a fiddle, and he doesn't even realize it. I mean, a peace prize for preemptively bombing another country in circumstances that you precipitated by getting out of the Iran deal during your first term. Now, here's the thing. Okay. This is obviously strategic flattery. Benjamin Netanyahu has an interest in Trump being buttered up by him. Netanyahu wants Trump's political support as Netanyahu's government is facing international backlash over their handling primarily of the Gaza conflict, but others as well. And the way that Bibi manufactures consent from the United States is feeding Trump the one thing Trump has an unending appetite for: flattery.
And ass
Peace
kissing.
prize for bombing another country. And Benjamin Netanyahu, who I disagree with completely, I'm an opponent of Netanyahu. He's not stupid. And he knows what he is doing here. And Trump is eating it up.
Okay, the link is in my description box. I just wanted you to see a little bit of that. Now let's go to JD Vance on vacation, getting booed after he JD Vance is deplorable. I've already explained to you who supports JD Vance and who JD Vance supports. A white suprematist, and he always want to quote this white suprematist. So don't supremacist. So don't think that if 45, 47 out of the way, the vice president will be much better. So he was in San Diego at some Michelin sushi place, and people got wind of it, and a crowd formed. And so this is the crowd as JD Vance is leaving this Michelin sushi shop.
I hope your Michelin star sushi. I hope your Michelin star sushi was worth it with 82 people dead in Texas. Thanks for cutting the National Weather Service. Go to The Hague! Fascists are welcome in Norfolk! Get the out of here!
That was okay. That is some good news. Hey, Tweety, grand afternoon in California, but they hate California, but go for the money grab. Now, Laguna Beach in Southern California is now on fire. They are grabbing water from golf course ponds and everything because there are many golf courses. Laguna Beach is for the ultra rich in Southern California, another place for the ultra rich in Southern California. So let's see how this is all going to play out. Did you guys know that there's also flooding in North Carolina? I guess that's a little too country to care about. I know that there are rich people in North Carolina, but I don't see, it's strange that that's not getting through the radar with so many places that are flooding. Have you guys heard about the flooding that is going on in North Carolina? Okay, let me, this is not North Carolina. This is Texas officials slam National Weather Service for failing to forecast catastrophic flood. This is what Coriolova was talking about, that the Texas officials are slamming the NWA for failing to forecast a catastrophic catastrophic flood. And when you hear that the person to give the warnings, the position is not filled, but they're trying to blame it on the National Weather Service. Hundreds of NOAA employees laid off in latest cut to federal workforce. NOAA is scrambling to fill forecasting jobs after cuts to the National Weather Service. But let's ignore this all and blame it on them. And let's not blame any of our representatives when it was put before them to put some sirens out, and they said they didn't know that if the people would like spending that money for that.
That we received on Wednesday from the National Weather Service predicted 3 to 6 inches of rain in the Concho Valley and 4 to 8 inches of rain in the Hill Country. We worked with our own meteorologists to fine-tune that weather statement, and as many of you know, and many of you in broadcast journalism and meteorology, you can go back and look at your own forecast, and the amount of rain that fell in this specific location was never in any of those forecasts.
This rain event sat on top of that and dumped more rain than what was forecasted on both of those forks. When we got the report, it was about 7 feet or so on the South Fork, and within a matter of minutes, it was up to 29 feet, and all of that converged at the Guadalupe, and that's where we saw those very quick rise in flood.
But listen, everybody got the forecast from the National Weather Service, right? You all got it. You're all in media. You got that forecast. It did not predict the amount of rain that we saw.
Okay. So I didn't see if any of you guys heard about what's going on. Oh, I think M. Renee is saying, yes, she has heard about North Carolina. So there is that as well. Now, since we've been on here, let me see if anything good has hit from any of my people that I watched that I may want to refer you to. Okay. Before I leave, real quick, I hate when I leave and I see something has broken while I've been on. I don't see anything. A lot of people are pissed about this Epstein cover-up. Who don't know that this is a cover-up when we've actually seen 45, 47 ogling and being introduced to some young girl at along with Epstein and some really, really tall guy. Who don't know that this is a cover-up? Pam Bundy was questioned earlier this year, and she was asked if she would release the Epstein files, and she said she had them on her desk right now. Let me go to this right quick. I would be remiss if I wasn't talking about how they are trying to deflect from this storm. Let's not forget that Bundy actually had a whole one of these reality show, all of this made for TV presidency shit, where she allegedly gave out a part of the Epstein's file. Remember, they're going to be totally transparent, but now all of a sudden there are no Epstein's files. Here we go. Let me share this with you. And no lie would be complete without Caroline Leavitt, the devil, coming out to lie about what we know she's lying about. Here we go.
Report. The FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list.
Oh, hold on. I'm not sharing it. Oh my God, I did that again. Hold on. I apologize. I thought I was sharing it, but I was not sharing it. I am sharing it. Jeez Louise. Let me go back to it. I thought I wasn't sharing it. Here we go.
The circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox
I've
News.
got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has
you notice the changing of the subject
led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. That they promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
So let me get this straight. Apparently, when Attorney General Pam Bondi said this,
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
apparently that didn't mean the client list was on her desk, but rather that all of the paperwork in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes were on her desk. And if you're thinking to yourself, that doesn't really make sense, you'd be right.
because it doesn't make sense, because it's bullshit. Let's continue.
It doesn't, because it is a desperate lie. And when you tell lies on top of lies on top of other lies, this is what happened. You're left spinning a web of lies so clearly false that you just sound like an absolute joke. Perhaps of a bombshell Axios story yesterday, White House. So let me ask you, do you really think Donald Trump is going to be the guy who gives you all the answers you're looking for when he has surrounded himself by the very people who are responsible for why Epstein has evaded accountability in the first place? This all comes in the aftermath of a bombshell Axios story yesterday revealing, quote, President Trump's Justice Department and FBI have concluded they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was murdered, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. So apparently, we've got hundreds of victims, tons of evidence, and yet not a single client other than Epstein himself.
And a woman, Ghislaine Maxine, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence behind no case. Is that what we believe? A woman who is serving 20 years, but none of the men who were surrounding him. Let's continue.
That this administration can point to, despite months and months and months of promises saying the exact opposite. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. It also makes moments like this one back in February all the more ridiculous in retrospect.
In this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
No, that's Alina Habba. That's 47 personal attorney who he has in who he has sat in the New Jersey what is the top lawyer in New Jersey? She is the top lawyer in New Jersey now. This is what she had to say. This is the same lawyer who have filing criminal charges against the black congresswoman who wanted to visit that ICE facility in New Jersey. Yeah. So she's the head law official in New Jersey now.
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court, but again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general.
Yes, I meant the district attorney. She is the has been rewarded the district attorney position, and she is out here using it. But there may be a little caveat. There is a word on the curb that she may lose her law license. I didn't go delve into that story. I will tomorrow.
Jack Posobiec and Libs of TikTok's Chaya Raichik. How about Matt Wallace, who tweeted, "I just saw the leaked Epstein files. Get ready for the world to change tomorrow." Quite a few right-wing influencers and personalities dangling these promises. And yet now the whole thing is closed with no further information. So my question becomes, where is all of this promised information? Where are all the smoking guns? Unless these right-wing personalities were lying to their followers back when they made these promises, stringing them along with promises of world-changing news. Is that what they did? Fool the rubes in their base for social media clout? Or was there actually major news that they too are hiding, just like this White House seems to be doing? Because it sure seems like someone was lying. So the question becomes, were they lying before or are they lying now? And of course, we would all be fools to ignore the fact that there are quite a few warning signs that might explain why this White House has a vested interest in keeping this under wraps. Take, for example, a certain tweet that nearly got Elon Musk deported. He took to Twitter writing, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT." And if Elon's claims aren't moving enough, then maybe just consider the footage that's already out in the zeitgeist, like this.
Now, okay. Now, these guys are evidently at least in their mid to late 40s. What about this young lady right here? He's just meeting. Look at the look on his face. This is Epstein right here in the denim shirt. I don't know who this Herman Monster jaw bitch is. Let's watch this again.
Out in the zeitgeist, like this. Oh, and if that's not enough, then take Trump's very own cagey comments about releasing the Epstein files when asked.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of.
I think that's less so. You wouldn't want to affect people's lives if it's phony.
Phony stuff with that whole world.
There's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But there was a lot of truth to that whole world as well.
But I think I would.
So look, will this have any impact on Trump supporters' willingness to carry water for the God King? Maybe for a few people, they'll realize the extent to which they were lied to by Trump, by Bongino, by Bondi, by Patel, by all of these right-wing grifters who waved around their little binders filled with supposedly incriminating information. Maybe now everyone will realize what a con job the MAGA Republican Party has become. The whole thing is a scam to keep the marks thinking that they're fighting some righteous fight, when in reality, the real purpose of that stuff is keeping everybody nice and distracted with flashy topics like Epstein.
Okay, so we're back distracted with Epstein after this failure of a warning system. Hey, Vibrant Law, it is good to see you. One more thing. Now, you heard him say that after Elon Musk tweeted that post, there was rumblings of I should deport Elon. Okay. So now Elon went back and he erased that post, and he said something to the effect that he has been getting out of hand himself. But Elon is back making comments since they've said that there is no list. Guess who's back? Elon is back. So this is the same Brian Tyler Cohen. If you're not subscribed to him, I'm going to drop this link in the chat. I haven't added it to my description box, but I will. So surprise, Elon drops bomb on Trump. This is the newest from Elon since Trump has come out and said that there are no files. There's nothing to show. Let me play this.
Over Jeffrey Epstein caught the eye of somebody who knows. It looks like Trump's little freak out this morning over Jeffrey Epstein caught the eye of somebody who knows exactly how to twist the knife when it comes to Trump. Elon Musk took to Twitter and wrote, "How can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files?" And of course, this is especially potent coming from Musk, what with this tweet being what brought the idea of deporting Elon into the zeitgeist. When he wrote, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT." In other words, you've got the same guy who said Trump was in the files now confronting the White House about their rationale for not releasing them. I wonder if the two are related. Of course, you don't need to just take Elon's word for it. Trump himself offered up the biggest tell in the world when it comes to his desire to see the files actually get released.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. All right. I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
Granted, while Trump's rationale for not releasing the files is pretty damn clear, it's also worth noting that Elon Musk is not some white knight here either. After all, this video certainly existed when Elon was throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at Donald Trump to become the next president. It's not like his relationship with Epstein was some secret, as Trump himself likes to say.
"Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in."
In other words, you don't get...
Okay, exactly. Elon doesn't get any passes. Let me see what is at the end of this. I didn't see this. Let me see what this is.
Gets that vote. Once he gets that power, he doesn't actually need to stand by anything. And of course, he'll always have people like Pam Bondi who can run cover for him like they always do.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention.
Okay, this is also at this Netanyahu. No. They did a whole a suck dick fest. He had a whole meeting with his cabinet meeting today. The Suck Dick Fest was today. And somebody asked 4547 about the Epstein files. And he said, "Are people still talking about that? What is wrong with people? I thought that was a dead story. I mean, it's nothing to that story. Blah, 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 blah." I don't know if Pam even wants to answer it, but okay. That's how the questioning started off. I'm going to bring that to you tomorrow.
Because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning
the client list, bitch. But now she was asked about the client list. I said it was sitting on my desk waiting to be reviewed, but that's not what she meant.
File along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Talk about verbal gymnastics. Any more, and she might actually qualify for the 2028 Olympics.
And that took a lot of words every night. The same minute is missing from that video every night due to some glitch. That's all the bitch had to say. They released a video that allegedly shows Epstein being escorted to his cell, but conveniently, the person that they want to say is Epstein, there is a bar, a prison bar, across any facial features of this person who is a floor down, being escorted. It's a whole lot of bullshit. So this is their new distraction. They don't want to talk about these floods and how they should be looked at in the cutting of these budgets that allowed these floods to unalive these people. This is the cruelest man since Hitler doesn't want to ruin lives. Yeah, the cruelest man since Hitler. Hey, Kimberly, Grand Rising is up now. Good evening. It is good to see you. I keep on wanting to say Grand Rising. Okay, so that's all that I have for you today. I'm pretty sure Epstein. I do. Wait a minute. I got to talk about this abortion. Remember, they said that abortion should be left up to the states. I do want to talk about this because if you're against abortions, don't have abortions. We saw that young lady in Georgia, because doctors were afraid that they may lose their licenses, they put her on life support system. I don't know if the baby. I do know the baby was born, but I have not kept up with that story to see how viable that child is and what type of life that a child may possibly have. But they induced her labor at really, really early, but they kept her on life support because doctors were afraid if they didn't, that they would go to jail and lose their licenses. So I want to talk about that real quick. They also hold on. They also slipped something in this big, beautiful bill. They say that they're going to leave it up to the state. Hey, you got to chill. They say that they are going to leave it up to the states. So some states are allowing abortions and some are not. But what did they put into this big, beautiful bill to in essence, take that rights away from the states? So they want a whole federal ban on it, and some behind some Christian principles that none of them live up to. I'm just giving you the information. I'm just showing you some of the stuff that you may not know that were in the big, beautiful bill.
Ruling in court today that pours some cold water on Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill that was just passed. Can you explain what happened?
Yeah, Brian, a federal judge just issued a TRO, a temporary restraining order for 14 days, blocking a part of the so-called, big, beautiful, ugly bill that was just signed into law by Donald Trump in recent days. Specifically, in the bill, there is a 1-year freeze on all Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood, although they don't use the term Planned Parenthood in the legislation. Clearly, that was the target of this 1-year freeze because it's, health organizations that primarily perform abortion or provide abortion-related services. So, listen, they are trying to.
Okay, so the reason why this is important, they attach this to Medicaid. It would harm the most poorest people in the most poorest communities or regions or rural areas. Understand that a lot of communities by a regular doctor's office, and understand that a lot of physicians do not accept Medicaid, and understand that Planned Parenthood does far more than give abortion. Planned Parenthood do cancer screening. Planned Parenthood do regular OBGYN checkups and things like that. So they want even if you still have Medicaid, that you will not be able to go to Planned Parenthood for any of the other services that you could get in your area, which may be the only place where you can go to get these services in your area. This is why I'm talking to you. See, everything is not about the abortion, but they want to make everything about abortion. And God, who gives a fuck about what other medical issues that you get service from Planned Parenthood? Let's continue.
Freeze out Planned Parenthood. So suit was brought saying, look, this violates equal protection of the law. This is basically a backdoor approach to try to ban abortions. They say that more than 1 million Medicaid recipients get health care services from Planned Parenthood. And they make a point to say, listen, it's not just abortions. They do cancer screenings. They treat sexually transmitted diseases. There are lots of reasons that Medicaid money should continue to go to support these kind of services. And they basically say, look, you're discriminating. You're trying to just de facto shut down Planned Parenthood. This is another way to try to defund Planned Parenthood. And they persuaded a federal judge that at least there should be a temporary restraining order for 14 days while the judge considers whether she should extend that, maybe make it a preliminary injunction, which can last much longer than a temporary restraining order.
You know, Glenn, the ultimate hypocrisy here is that all of these Republicans claim that when Roe was overturned, that they wanted these decisions to be left up to the state and where they want to allocate their funding. And if they choose to allocate their funding to Planned Parenthood, then that's their prerogative to be able to do so. And yet, once again, we have these Republicans who have decided that, in fact, they have no interest in leaving it all up to the states. They want to be able to dictate what happens at the highest levels of government all the way down to the most local levels of government.
Yeah, hypocrisy is not really a thing in the Republican Party.
Okay, the link is in my description box. Your body, their choice. So I thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Go back and check out the links if you came late. I'm just giving you some information. It's touch and go out here, and unfortunately, a lot of people are unaware and don't see it. Should have went out and exercised your rights to vote, dumbass. Exactly. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm glad I decided to come at 4, and I hope you guys have a great remainder of your evening. If you didn't hit the thumbs up on your way in, please hit it on the way out and have a great day. I concur with you exactly on that. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.